Barret Edelstein here, your celeb expert and your Celeb Savant. Celeb Savant is a weekly entertainment show. We have long-form career retrospective type interviews with celebrities, singers, actors, and industry experts. On this episode of Celeb Savant, I spoke to Elaine, who's a South African R&B singer and songwriter. While studying law at university, she self-released her debut EP, Elements, in September 2019. The EP reached number 1 on both the national iTunes and Apple Music charts, making her the first independent female artist to do so. Elements was certified platinum by RISA a year after its initial release and was nominated for Best R&B Soul Album at the 26th South African Music Awards. Elaine was subsequently signed to Columbia Records in December 2020, and she moved to America, Los Angeles, Hollywood, to carry on her recording career. Now, I sat down with Elaine at the head office of Sony, and there was construction in the building next door to us. So I do apologize in advance for any drilling sounds that you may hear during the course of this interview. This is Celeb Savant speaking to Elaine. Okay, so cool. This is Barret Edelstein, your Celeb Savant, and today we have got the brilliant South African artist Elaine. Elaine, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
So tell me, you just came back from America. How was that trip? Tell us about that.
It was lovely. I actually stay there now. So
wow.
Yeah, it's good to be home now and visiting and doing some work and, just touching base. But
so where in America do you live?
I stay in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yes.
In the Hollywood.
Yeah, right in the mix.
And how are things in Hollywood?
Hollywood's cool. I think I just spend most of my time creating, really. I'm mostly just in studio and all of that, but it's cool.
And how is that difference from creating in Hollywood to when you were creating in South Africa? I'm sure there's a big difference. So,
I mean, I think the only difference really is just the people that I'm working with, obviously, but outside of everything else, I think I'm still the same person, the same artist. Obviously I've grown,
of course
certain things have changed, but when it comes to creating music, it's all the same. We're in the studio, and obviously there's access to more people that side, but other than that, same old.
And have you done the hike up the Hollywood mountain yet?
I actually haven't done all the touristy things. I'm the worst. I haven't done Runyon. Canyon.
I
haven't done Six Flags. I suck because I'm always I suck if I'm not writing music, if I'm not recording, I'm sleeping, resting. Yeah.
That hike is amazing, so I really recommend it. I really recommend it.
That'll be the first thing I do when I get back.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your creative process?
My creative process is quite flexible, really. It depends on the space that I'm in. It depends on how I'm feeling, but I like to really be in the studio writing first. I think writing is what I really love. So if I have a beat, or if there's an instrumental, or if I'm in with a producer at the time, we'll just start off with something simple, and I'll sort of get the gist of how I'm feeling, or what it is that I want to talk about, or what I'm going through, and then everything just flows from there. But every studio session is different, and that's what I love about it. That's what keeps me excited, because I never know what's going to come out of it. I never know what I'm going to learn about myself. I never know what I'm going to add or take out of my creative process. It's lovely. Yeah.
And are you a night owl person or a day person?
So it actually depends. There are times where I enjoy afternoon sessions, but the nighttime sessions are also really, really fun. Yeah, there's something toxic that comes out of me past like 10 p.m. and I start being less and less afraid of writing certain things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that writing process, is it a process of what's happening in your life, what's happening in the world, perceptions or opinions, or is it a combination of all those things?
So when I step into the studio, I step in with, just the full heart, and I just write from my heart.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything I write about is just personal experiences, personal, feelings at the time. But that's why I really, really love to be in a good environment when I'm in the studio, because it's a very intimate type of creative process that I go through. So anybody that I invite to the studio, they know that it's about to get very, personal, deep.
That's amazing.
And all of that, which is great.
Yeah, it has to come from your soul.
That's what the studio's for.
It has to come from your soul, because if it doesn't, then the listeners, I'm sure they pick it up.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Now tell me, let's take it all the way back. When you first found your talent of singing and writing music, how did that moment come to be? Tell us about that.
So I actually started singing when I was 6 years old.
Yes.
So it's been something that I've loved doing my entire life. It started off very, fun and innocent. I was just entering, talent competitions. I was performing at school concerts. Then I remember my breakthrough was when I got to sing the single for the solo lead, for Silent Night for our school concert. I was 6. That's when I knew that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I remember the day vividly. I missed my cue. I was supposed to go up at a certain time and I went up earlier. So the show ended up moving a bit. The program had changed because I had walked up to the mic earlier.
Okay.
But it was the feeling of not knowing what I'm doing, but knowing that I love it.
Okay.
Not knowing, because I could tell that something was wrong because the teacher was sort of looking at me by a side eye to be like, she missed her cue. But, I had her support regardless, and the rest of, the kids were there to support me. And I was like, wow, okay, the minute you just walk forward and you are ready to speak your piece, everything else and anyone else that wants to support you will support you. And I think from that moment on, I just carried it with me, to be like,
I absolutely love that what you just said, that you walk forward no matter what you're doing in life. You walk forward and you just present yourself.
You present yourself, and those that want to support you and those that receive you well will receive you well. And I've carried that with myself for a very long time, to be like, I didn't know what I was doing. I had missed my cue, but I was confident and I knew that I wanted to sing, and I wasn't going to move from that mic until I sang my solo. Yes, I did. I stood there and I was like, I'm here now and I want to sing my solo. And ever since then, it's just been a lovely relationship that I've had with music. I started writing a few things when I got to high school. And when I got to the end of high school, when it was time for me to matriculate and decide what I wanted to do, I knew that I wanted to study law. So I went to the University of Witwatersrand and I studied my BA law degree, and that's where I actually started physically making music for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my life changed from there on. So I met the co-producers, the 2 co-producers that are on my EP.
Yes.
Elaine and Clarity. And we actually put that EP together. I think it took us over a year to put it together, and I was doing it in Elise's garage, and I did the other half of it in Clarity's dorm room. So we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew that we wanted to sing again, not knowing what you're doing, not knowing who's going to receive it, but walking up and just going for it and singing.
Putting yourself out there.
Putting yourself out
that.
there. Putting yourself
Absolutely
out
amazing.
there.
I love that. Now, that year journey of creating that EP, was it a smooth process, or was it a process of a few steps forward, a few steps back? Tell us a little more about that year and that journey.
Definitely not a smooth process, but also I don't ever think that there's ever been a point where I was taking steps back.
Okay.
I might be perhaps going in circles, but never backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, never backwards. But it was a learning curve because that was my first time ever recording.
Yes.
And I wasn't even recording in an actual studio. That was my first time, hearing myself on a song and all of that. But it was a lovely process. I think what kept us going back and forth was just the fact that I really wanted it to be a real representation of me as a person, and how I feel and things that I go through and the sound that I was trying to create. And Elise and Clarity made the whole process easier, really, because they were supportive. They were supportive of my sound, because at that time, the type of music that I'm making wasn't really as prominent in South Africa.
Yes.
So we didn't really have many references of other people that were doing the same thing. So all we had was really just to rely on ourselves. And I appreciate them for taking my creative direction so well and really executing my vision so well and us meeting and creating what has now changed all of our lives.
Exactly. And now, so you guys created this new type of music in South Africa. I mean, it crossed over into 947 on the charts with Zweli and all these everywhere. So how does that feeling, what is that feeling to know that you created a path for other people to look forward towards?
I think it's obviously it's an amazing feeling, but above everything else, I feel humbled by it, to know that there are people that not only listen to me but appreciate me, appreciate what I have to say. And my fans, they have so much grace and they carry my art with so much grace, and they respect it and they love it. And for me, that's the best part of it all. That's the amazing part of it all, to see people carry a piece of you with them, and really resonate with it, and really just take your story and turn it into theirs. It's lovely to see. Yeah.
Now, going back to studying law, while you were doing that music, now law is very strict studying, learning. And then you've got the music side. Was it difficult for you to do it at the same time, or did you decompartmentalize it in the sense, okay, now I'm doing my music, or now I'm studying my law? How did that process work for you?
I was just honestly at a place where, I was 18, I'm living by myself for the first time, I'm experiencing a whole lot of things. So I was just really, really ambitious. I still am very ambitious, very motivated. And so I'd do whatever it takes. I'd go to 2 lectures, then leave campus, go to a quick studio session, because Clarity and Elise were also students at the time. So we'd have to coordinate our sessions, So he'd have a break and I'd have a lecture that I felt like I was ahead in, and we just coordinate. It was just, there was no order at all. It was just passion and walking up to the mic and, putting yourself out there. But I think the best thing that I learned from that was balance. Oh, amazing.
Balance. So it wasn't law and order, it was just order.
It was just order, yeah. It was. But it was great nonetheless. And looking back now, I'm really happy that I put myself out there like that. And I took those risks and I pushed myself to the limit, literally. There were times when we'd leave campus at like 4 p.m. I'd be at the library doing my assignments till like 8 p.m. Meet up with them at like 10 p.m. and we'd be working till like 6 a.m. the next morning, then back to campus and repeat. So it's just putting yourself out there, and if you want to do it, you find a way to do it. Yeah.
I love it. So do you think you'd ever practice law?
Wow. So I only perhaps practice, maybe. But right now I'm really, really in love with the music, and it's been my passion forever, and I'm just grateful to have a career that I'm obsessed with. And you've got 2 paths you could possibly take.
Exactly. And wouldn't you say that the opening and closing statements of a case would be similar to writing a song?
Oh, definitely. You have to plead your case, babes. You need to tell us what's going on. We need the scoop. So, yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about what's happening in America right now.
What's happening in America in terms of music?
Yes, correct.
Well, I've been recording my debut album, and that's done now. So it's in the mixing and mastering phase. So I've honestly been back and forth with mixing engineers. That's a process that I also just recently learned is very intricate and very important as well to be a part of. So I was a part of like the mixing process as well. And besides the music and events and all of that, I'm just honestly always creating. Majority of the time I'm in studio. If I'm not in studio, I'm writing. If I'm not writing, I'm shooting. If I'm not shooting, I'm resting.
Sleeping.
Yeah, I love sleep. I love to sleep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, are there any sneak peek of any collaborations that are going to be in the album?
Sneak peek is a lot. It's a lot to name drop now.
Okay.
But very exciting. I know people are going to be very excited. I know people are going to receive it well. And I really did push myself on this album. I got very experimental. I was very unapologetic, especially with the things I was talking about. I really went deeper into some of the issues that I was facing, personal. And I wrote most of it in the pandemic as well. So my mental health was also in a dark place at that time, which comes through on the album as well. And I'm happy with that, because I don't want to give people a perfect perception of what I go through. I want to give people a real perception. I want to give people a clear view into the things that I go through, the things that I feel, and how I navigate around them.
So you mentioned the pandemic. So you were in America for the lockdown?
No. I was home.
Oh, you were here?
I was home.
So you were basically creating during that time?
Yes, I created this album in many places, but I created most of it here, and I created most of it in Cali as well. But I was at home. I was in quarantine with my family. I was finishing my degree, writing exams from my bedroom. So it was
hectic.
A lot. Yeah, it was heavy. It was heavy. And I think that's where you can sort of tell the mood changes in the album. And
so I saw a couple of other interviews and with you, and you mentioned that being shy and people seeing that as a form of unapproachability or aloofness perceived from their side from you. So becoming more popular and getting more fans, has that helped you release some of the shyness? Or do you feel that maybe it's about now they're seeing a different side based on an image that's perceived through social media and the press?
Not at all. I think my fans are experiencing the organic growth of not only my career but of me as well. You know, they've seen me from however old I was. I think I was like 20 years old, you know, growing to the woman that I am now. And as much as I'm more open to being vulnerable, I'm still the same girl. You know, I'm still sensitive. I'm still to myself, but I've found a way to share those parts of myself with my fans and with people. And I think they know and understand that, but I'm definitely more open to them understanding me outside of my music, because I think they definitely understand my music, but I think them getting to me was a bit more difficult because I do have my guards up very high in real life too, but I've learned to be vulnerable with the people that are vulnerable with me and that listen to me and appreciate me. So
it's about that energy exchange, if you want to call it.
Yeah, so I found a happy medium where, you know, I'm happy engaging with them and letting them know what I've been up to in whatever way I'm comfortable. But, you know, I'm not the loudest person and I won't, you know, all of that. But it has definitely gone away and I've found ways to express myself without having to compromise myself. So.
And tell me, when's the album dropping?
The album's dropping soon. I can say soon. I can't give you an exact date.
You can't give me an exact date.
Yeah, but it's dropping. It's dropping very soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. We're looking forward to that.
Thank you.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Okay.
I'd like you to give me your top 5 favorite songs by other artists.
By other artists?
Off the top of your head.
Okay.
Any genre, any type, anything that comes to mind.
Okay. Michael Jackson, The Way You Make Me Feel.
Brilliant.
Wow. This is crazy. Beyonce, Dangerously in Love.
Yeah.
Anything by Drake.
Okay.
Love Drake. Love me some Drake. How many is that? 3?
That's 3. So you go 2 more.
Anything by Frank Ocean. I think Pyramids by Frank Ocean is lovely. I have one more?
Yes, one more.
One more. Anything by Lebo Matosa. Absolutely anything by Lebo Matosa. So I would put up I Love Music by Lebo Matosa.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. So putting it out there that maybe we'll be collaborating with some of those artists down the line.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Let's make that happen.
It's out there already. It's already happening.
Okay.
Amen. I
receive.
Looking forward to that. Thank you. Great energy.
Yes. And as a final for our listening audience, what would you like to final message to your listening audience?
Wow. I just think I want to give a shout out to my shining stars. Those are really fans that hold me down, see me through, appreciate me, love me, fight for me. I don't know if you've seen on the TL, but when it's going down, they are there for me. So I just want to give a shout out to my shining stars, and I want to say thank you for being a part of this journey. And we're about to go on a new journey with this new album, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for them to experience it. I cannot wait to experience it with them. And it's going to be lovely. It's going to be great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Elaine, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
It's been an absolute honor. This is Barret Edelstein, Celeb Savant, signing out. Thank you.